Hello, I would like to do a really quick tour of my Flickr page. My Flickr account is Kyle Pounds 2001, one word. Um, and so I have lots of different sets. I think in order to see this, you have to be signed into Flickr yourself, because I tried to look at it not being signed in and I couldn't look at myself. So it's kind of like Facebook in that way. Flickr is a really good site because it's, well, if you pay $25 a year, you get as many photos as you want. You can embed them in your website, and it doesn't take any extra time for the page to load, even if you have lots of pictures. And I think I'll do a tour of my site and show you how that works. It's really cool. And you can make the pictures as big as you want just by scrolling them in and out on your website. And it doesn't, it still loads really fast. It's just the code that loads, and then the picture loads on its own, but the page loads per code, so it doesn't slow the loading of the page at all that way. So it's definitely the best way to have photos on your website, is to have them embedded from Flickr. Embedded videos from YouTube take a lot of time for the page to load, so it's different. So anyways, these are all of my different sets. I have Roman Empire, collections. You have a collection, then inside a collection you have a set. So it's kind of like a folder and a folder, but you can't have a folder and a folder and a folder. So, oops. I guess you have to click on the, I guess there's, well, it says there's 8 sets. Did my computer just freeze? Ah, that's what happened. My computer just froze. Wait, did it just let me in? Let's try this one more time. You gonna let me in? Okay, looks like it will let me in. Okay. Alright, so yes, Roman Empire. I wanted to show this because you can see lots of videos. Here's Babs 46. You can see lots of videos, lots of photos when it's set up on a grid and they're small like this. It's a good size. But look, this is 46 and you can see them all at once in the same time, on a grid. And it's a cool way to look at photos if you wanted to just kind of step back and look and see a lot of things at the same time. And then of course you can click in on something. Like this is a woman they found in Herculaneum that was covered by the volcano that destroyed Pompeii. There's something wrong with the internet here. It's really slow. I'm at the library. Yeah, so there's the girl. I just got these photos off of Wikipedia, so I can legally put them on my Flickr site and then embed them on my site and on my timeline. I collected all these pictures so that I could put them on my timeline. I don't think I can embed them from Flickr onto my timeline. That would be cool. But to just as a place to store them, because you can get a program called Flickr Down, where you can download all of your Flickr set, your entire set, by just a click of a button, and then they all come down. I think this may be running slowly because I have the program running, the recording program, CaptureWiz. Maybe, I don't know. So here's all the amphitheaters in the Roman Empire. Okay, these aren't all the amphitheaters, but it's all the amphitheaters that have a Wikipedia picture. So I guess it's all the amphitheaters of any import. So isn't that cool? These are all the amphitheaters of the entire Roman Empire, spread throughout the entire Roman Empire. And you get to see them all at once in the same time, all like 76 of them. And you get an idea of how big of a number 76 is too, This is it right here. Some people think that 100 is a lot, but it's really, 100 is like a handful, You could hold like 100 jelly beans in your hand, It's not that much. Probably have like 100 friends, So, of course, when you click on it, it brings the photo up. This is a big photo. This is about as big as the photo is. I didn't get the large version of the photo off of Wikipedia. If you like the large versions, if you like a photo, then you can go to Wikipedia and type up the, for example, this is Italy, Sutri Amphitheater in Auschwitz in Italy. So, if you like this picture, you just go, just Wikipedia, the Sutrium, and there's a pretty good chance that actually a really good chance that there's a really large version of this picture. So it's like a 2,000-year-old amphitheater. I wish I had known of these when I passed through there. That's the beauty of knowing history, and knowing, having access to these pictures and everything and where they are, because you can be ready to find them when you go to these countries. So these are all the temples in the Roman Empire. And there was something like 50 or something, so not that many. And dams, only 4, but yes, the Roman Empire did have dams. That's an aqueduct / dam, but yeah, they're still here. I think that's one in Israel. Yeah, they had lots of aqueducts, but those are all the photos of dams. But yeah, I mean, the Roman Empire, the aqueducts weren't just in Rome. They were also throughout the entire Roman Empire. They brought really good aqueducts. In Spain, for example, this is an aqueduct in Spain that was built by the Romans 2,000 years ago. And look how amazingly large and well put together it still is. Isn't that amazing? And you can get this picture in a really, really, really big resolution if you just go to Wikipedia. It's called the Aqueduct of Segovia. So yeah, they were good constructionists. So yeah, those are all the photos of aqueducts I got off of Wikipedia, pretty much. Aqueducts to Rome, that was another set that I created because Rome is known for its aqueducts. And you think about the aqueducts to Rome, I need to take that out. But yeah, they all came in here and shows where they dropped off. There are definitely more photos of aqueducts going into Rome, but this is all I'm going to use for my timeline. The idea is to use these are bridges, to use every single photo that I have on my Flickr right now, as well as all the other ones that I'm going to collect. Put every single one of them on my timeline, so you just mouse over the letter and then it magically appears, filling up the entire screen. So my timeline will be a gallery. It's going to be so awesome, my timeline. Okay, anyway, so those are the bridges, and there's lots of bridge aqueducts like this. There's lots of bridge / aqueducts, but there's more aqueducts than bridges, so actually more bridges than aqueducts. Here's Roman roads. Rome is known for their roads, and they still exist. They're all over England. And some of the ancient Roman roads are merely cow trails now, as you can see. Okay, I shouldn't click on photos anymore because it's taken for freaking ever, but there's an ancient Roman road. It's called the Petter's Way in UK, and you'd never know, would you? Walking across there. Yet others like this one here are still perfectly paved. So what do you know? What do you know? So there's Rome. This is kind of one thing I've been spending a lot of my time on. Also cathedrals. Cathedrals were the skyscrapers of the late Middle Ages. And so I wanted to put them in my my timeline, so that you know kind of the date of the growing up of Europe. And there's lots of cathedrals all over the place, everywhere. And a cool thing about Flickr is you can look at these and you can see which countries had more and less cathedrals. So you know which ones were the most developed during the Middle Ages, and which are the most Christian. Serbia had 14 here in China, and East Asia didn't have so many, although China had 11. USA has 146, I think most out of anybody. Spain has 41, Romania 12, Pakistan only 3, Peru only 4, Netherlands only 3. But yeah, I have a whole bunch of them, don't I? Ireland has 50, Finland only 11. Scandinavia is not very Christian, and then on and on and on you go. Notre Dame was built in like 1150, and that was the one that got the cathedral craze going. Let's see if we can find Notre Dame. France, the Lord love us. France is not here. I probably accidentally put the cathedrals of France in castles. I need to get in here later and organize this business. But let's go to one that has a lot of cathedrals. I can't find one that has lots of cathedrals. Ireland. Ireland. So it's kind of taking a long time to load. So 50, right? That's how many 50 is, and that's what they look like. Now the cool thing about being able to see them all together like this is you can compare architectural styles between countries. Like you could open up another window, for example, open up another window next to it, and compare cathedrals. Be like, over here, and they look different from this one. Like over here in Ireland, they're more gray, or they're steeper, and it's better if you get to look at them all bunched up together like this. And it looks to me like, all the cathedrals in Ireland do look the same. They're very steep and narrow and gray, you see. So I won't actually click on any of those photos because I've already done it with the Roman Empire photos. But you get the idea. So I have cathedrals of every single country in the world. Archaeological sites. Actually, I have mosques in there too, because I didn't divide up mosques between countries. I could have, but I probably should have, but there weren't as many mosques as there are cathedrals in the world. Like these are all the mosques in the world that are that you can find pictures of on Wikipedia. Obviously, there's hundreds and hundreds, but some of them are just like houses, and it's not worth taking a picture of. For example, this one's definitely worth taking a picture of. I don't know if they would consider. It kind of looks like Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is a tomb, though, but this is the ancient Iranian mosques. Maybe I should, you know what, I'm kind of wishing I got the good resolution. When I got these, I got it for the idea of using them for my timeline, so I didn't want to get the really high resolution, but on second thought, I think I should have gotten really high resolution, because then I would be able to look at all of the filigree, all of the mind-blowingly elaborate, what is it, mosaics or paint on this very old Shah mosque in Iran. I should have put the date on it, but yeah, the Iranians and the Islamic. See, this could be like 1,000 years old. Some of these are really old. The Iranians, I can't remember who they were. They were really into making these really fine, delicate mosques. Ottomans were more into making giant domes and stuff. So these are all the mosques. Some of them look like cathedrals, as you can see. Some of them have the things that go straight up. So, so there you go. You could look at, cathedrals in Russia, and they kind of look like mosques, because a lot of those Islamics went up in Russia, because Russia's such a big place. But you can also look at how many different mosques there are. For example, Egypt has 11. Maybe you'd think they'd have more because they're Islamic. Oh, I have Egyptian pyramids also. I need to take this off. Oh wait. Egypt, duh. I know, those are just archaeological sites in Egypt. Okay, these are all the Egyptian pyramids. You'd think there were more, but these are all of them. There's areas with lots of little ones, I guess, around, but yeah, Egypt isn't like littered with hundreds of pyramids. It's just got these ones. And some of them kind of barely look like pyramids anymore. It's kind of interesting, like this one. It's just a rubble heap now. Isn't that interesting? It used to be a big old beautiful pyramid. That's what happens when human beings make pyramids. 2,000 years, 3,000 years later, they turn into rubble heaps. But when you get aliens building pyramids perfectly with stacked 2, 3, 5-ton stones fit perfectly together, granite stones, well, you get something like this that's never going to crumble. And the only reason it is crumbled that much is because people have been hacking away at it, trying to crumble it. So, pyramids are pretty cool. And there's some more in-betweens. Okay, so archaeological sites in Egypt, Zimbabwe, Uzbekistan. Uh-oh, I have two Uzbekistans. Well, there you go. And all the different countries. Here's UK, England. I'm kind of, when I study history, I kind of specialize in England because the historians in England are so good. In English, anyways. So, yeah, those are the archaeological sites. You have like a Roman mosaic there, and a Viking ship buried. And all the way down we go. I have archaeological sites for everywhere in the world. And you can compare how many different ones are in each country. Israel had the Neanderthal. You want to know what a Neanderthal looked like? Check this out, dude. This is exactly what Neanderthals looked like. They were shorter than us, about 5'7", 5'5", 5'7", but they were really muscular. Their arms were longer, and they could kick your ass. Somebody said like a Neanderthal woman could kick Arnold Schwarzenegger's ass in his heyday. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, he's like, "Har," and they have bigger brains than we do. Just smaller frontal lobes, obviously, as you can see. So anyways, so these are all the different archaeological sites. I have two Egypts. My. That's probably castles in Egypt. I need to look at this and make sure that they're all in the right place, right collection. And then I have wars, brother man. I'm gonna put photos of wars on every single one of every single war that ever happened. I'm gonna have a picture of it. So these are the wars between ages. I have more modern wars I still need to upload. I have them on my computer, but these are wars before 1000 AD. I have it organized the way it's organized on Wikipedia. But yeah, these are all the wars organized that were before the year 1800 BC, or 80, or 1000 AD, Jesus. Yeah, so you can feel like you were actually there, you know. What I like to do is imagine that you're actually looking at a picture of it. Because a lot of these artists, they're so good that they can do actual likenesses of people. And we'll go look at that at the Monarchs here pretty soon. Look, there's a war fighting away. What war is this? The Frankish Civil Wars in 715 at the Bataille de Poitiers by Steuben. I think you got a chick with her titties out. They knew how to have war back then. So that's what it looked like. And then you can even look what the guys look like this guy. So it's really cool. Picture is 1,000 words. You gotta look at the pictures, man. So here's the wars between 1000 and 1500, 1900 to 1944. This is how they have it organized. And then the 1800s on Wikipedia, you see. So, I don't know why they have it organized that way. Maybe because technology changed once you got to 1800. Wars were different or something. Who knows? Okay, medieval weapons. I have all of the medieval weapons. And if anybody has any idea of photos for me to get from my timeline, by all means, you're more than welcome to suggest stuff. I do want to get all the different warriors of all the worlds. These are all ranged weapons like spears and such, and catapults. The Romans had a pretty good catapult, like this guy here. You can see. Ooh, my leg is hurting. Oh, throbbing, pulsating pain on my leg. I still need exercise. Armor, animals. These are all the different weapons. I shall back out of this though and get going with this. Castles are something that I really wanted to do because they're the skyscrapers of the Middle Ages, you know, the center of town. And you can compare how many different castles are in each different country. You know, Sweden had a lot of castles. Sometimes castles can be considered the same as palaces, though, kind of like in Sweden. But Some of the countries have lots of castles. Netherlands, 95 of them. And you can compare what the castles look like, you know, the architectural differences of the castles just by looking at them. Here, look, France. The castles in France. France has 389 castles. Obviously, it has many more castles than that on Wikipedia, but these are as many castles as there are photos for, which basically means, I guess, photos or castles that are worthy of taking photos of. So these are all the castles in France, right? So you can look at the architecture. I won't do the comparison shots because it'll take too long to open up the other window right now, but I should have done that to just do a little comparison with you of the different castles in the world. How castles look differently in Ireland does in France, but of course you can do that later. But these are all the castles, so it's a cool thing too. You can look at a castle and see if it sparks imagination. Maybe you lived in it in your past life, help you remember. Let's see if we can click on a neat looking castle to look at for just a quick second, even though since I've been talking for 21 minutes, 19 seconds so far. It's a cool looking castle. It looks a little bit refurbished. Some of these are refurbished, and I did put the date on most of them, not on this one, but I did put the date of construction. But you know, you want to take those with a grain of salt because these are built on old Roman forts or whatever, and then built up again, and then built up, and so the date that they give you, it's like, well, which date, you know, the where it looks in its present form, because in the present form, a lot of them are pretty recently, last 100 years or so, 150 years. So here's all the different castles of every single country. Spain had lots of really cool looking castles. France and Ireland have them too. So monarchs. This is going to be extremely interesting on my timeline because you're going to get to see how people looked, how people's looks changed over time. Here's France. You know, like for example, the Powerpuff Wig was only in the 1700s, and before that, well, what did they look like? They had long hair, you know. Before that, what did they look like? And I should have organized this in terms of sequence. If you wanted to do that, you can just do it on Wikipedia, though. But you know, back in the good old days, the representation of the king is really only less in the coin. Some of them you have really good paintings, maybe done later. I don't know if that's contemporary. But that's a good. Here, let's click on one king just to have a ganders at him. This guy here is well, let's see who he is. Dun, 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 dun. Isn't that a cool picture? That's what a king looked like. Long hair, beard, wearing a toga, trying to be a Roman. That's Cheribert 11. I think that was a long time ago. So those are French kings. I got Marie Antoinette because she's the last queen, so I won't click on her though. That was her right there though. Okay, so those are monarchs. Now I'm also going to have presidents, and I'm going to throw presidents up here in the monarch section as well. So that's that. Here, like Ottoman. What did the Ottoman sultans look like? You know, you can see what they look like in different parts of the world at the same century, and also how they changed, and also, you know, when they all started looking the same. But this is what the Ottoman sultans looked like. They had that little hat, round hat on, and then as you gotten forward, I guess, then they got these little cone hat things they morphed into. That guy's awesome, and the guy there on the bottom. So anyways, okay, so I also have the Hawaiian president. Kings, they're funny looking guys. Big fat dudes. Okay, history. Well, these are just different empires of the world in history. I guess I'll click on it since I'm clicking on every collection that I'm on. But yeah, Middle East, all that stuff. And okay, well that's that for my history. I also have science and New Age and my family and stuff. I don't think you can see these though. They wanted me to make that private. So that is my my Flickr page. Now, really quickly, since I forgot, let me explain really quickly how you can embed photos. You can embed photos from other people's sites too. I didn't do that because I didn't want to use up their bandwidth, and also I didn't want to screw up my photos in case I embed somebody's photo and then they take it off and I'm kind of screwed. That's why I wanted to put the photos on my site myself, so that I know that they're not going to be taken away and I'm not wasting my time. But if you do want to embed, you just click Actions, and then I think they changed this since the last time I did it. Whatever, it's pretty easy to do it. You just have to click around, and one of these buttons you can embed these photos. You just get the code and copy it. Okay, so that's my Flickr page.